Welcome back. As you can see, I am most of the way through level 19. And I kind of did that on purpose, off camera. I mean, you're not missing much. It's the stuff I was doing last time. I do want to kill one more because I want to highlight a point that I forgot to mention at the end of last video, which is more of the differences between the undead and living versions of these gnolls. One of the primary differences is that on these living ones, you get faction and loot, and on the undead ones, you do not get any faction. Now, why does that matter? It matters because the faction is actually pretty good that you get on these. Especially if you're someone like me who evidently does not have good faction with the western half of Antonica, the humans, basically, probably the barbarians as well. Okay, so this faction, Guards of Quanos, that'll help. I'm probably not KOS to them anyway, but that'll help. Corona Residents, that one I'm 50-50. I think that counts like that little village over there that I passed on the way here, who I can't remember because I think I only conned a merchant. And dubious, even if you're KOS them, they're not intended to be fighting people. The good thing about this faction, so the Split Paw faction, it doesn't matter. It's funny that I haven't maxed out Split Paw Clan yet. I almost wonder why they even included that in the game. There's no point in having... I mean, everyone starts out KOS to it. The only reason there's no benefit to... It's not like Chardock where there does end up being a benefit to having good faction with them. I'm not even sure what you could do to raise your faction with them. But one thing I'm thinking is they included it as like a lore thing, like these humanoids, they're different than just your average, silver mist wolves or griffins or whatever, just monsters out in the wild. They actually have their own faction. I don't know. I don't know how well thought out it was. But you gain with these other ones. Basically, what I'm saying is there's no negative to getting this faction. You're only improving faction with things that matter, and you're only losing faction with things that don't matter. The reason why this becomes useful, especially in the Velius expansion, is because you can essentially double dip. And by double dip, one of these griffins was coming real close to my camp. It was it comes right there at the top of that hill. I was shocked. Double dipping is basically where, let's say I wanted to raise faction. Let's say I'm an Ixar and I have bad faction with both the evils underground in Quanos and the good people above ground in Quanos, right? Well, how do I raise one without raising the other? Like, I can kill guards in the Coronas or in Quanos and get faction with the bad guys underground, but I can't get faction with the bad guys underground. Let me start over. I'm confusing myself. I can't raise one without lowering the other. So it's like a game. Here's how you fix that. Now, I'm not saying this is the perfect example because this is only 2, and Corona Residents, there's probably not any of those in Quanos. But let's just say you figured out a way. Let me just sit down in mid for a second. You figured out a way to... We're not close to nighttime. No. Okay. First, you killed a bunch of guards in Quanos and Coronas and whatever, and you maxed out your faction with the evils underground. Then you killed a bunch of gnolls, and without hurting your evil faction at all, you also raised your good faction with the people in Quanos. Now suddenly, as an Ixar or whatever, troll, ogre, you now have positive faction with both the underground people that are evil and the above ground people that are good. That is something that came into play in Velius where you could figure out a way, theoretically, and I did this on one of my characters. I can't remember which one. Obviously none of the ones I've really shown on this walkthrough, but where I was able to get both dwarf and giant faction. It had something to do with Velk's Labyrinth. Maybe the Paw Quest, I can't remember. But, yes, the double dipping thing is something that is a little, I don't know if you want to call it a hack, but it's a useful thing to be able to do. Now, what else do I have to say about this camp? First of all, as a level 19, I noticed that every single undead was still blue. About maybe 30 to 40% of the living ones were no longer blue. So that confirms my theory that the higher level ones are the undead. Would I recommend this camp? I would recommend it to... yeah, he's threatening. See, I think he's on the Corona Resident faction. I would recommend this camp to Necros, definitely. Clerics, probably. Paladins and Shadow Knights, I think they get spells at level 19. Yes, I would. Other classes, not so much. I mean, maybe a druid. You can't even quad yet, though, so no. I think for other classes, there's better camps. Ooh, I love that music. Let's turn that up a little bit. I mean, this is one of the best songs in the game because you see this big bridge and there's so much mystery around it, and then you end up finding out that hill giants built it. Okay, here's what I need. I need a spirited wolf because someone in the comments, and I will get to the question. I did get some good questions. This guy's probably KOS too, isn't he? Yeah, and he's yellow. Someone in the comments suggested that of all the options for where I should go, they suggested Rivervale, and I like that option. So that means I got to run through Gorge of King's Orb, which I haven't shown before, obviously, and Running Eye, and Misty Thicket, and Rivervale. Although if I'm KOS, I'm not gonna go to Rivervale. I should be able to figure that out. Just conning everything here to be careful. Carduin? Oh, that's probably a player. Yes, it is. Dang, the only person I can see here that I can get Spirited Wolf from is that Widow. Yeah, I'll show everything, as usual. This is part of why I did all this exping, because I figured a good chunk of this video would be travel through the old world. And let's see here. Let me just send him a tell. I love that name, by the way, Wolfen. Okay, I messaged Wolfen. If I had to guess where he is, he's probably by the ramp that I came down, killing spiders. That would be my guess. Charm killing or quadding. No, he's not high enough to quad because you can't really quad until 24. Here is a Cyclops that if you kill him, another one spawns that's even higher level and bigger. I'm not going to mess, obviously. I just like showing this stuff that I have no intention of messing with. It's better than them sneaking up on me. Fortunately, I know where most things are in this zone. I love this zone. I've often thought about which of the Karanas is my favorite, and I don't know the answer. Oh, these druids. Let's see if I'm KOS these druids. That one there is a merchant, I think. Nope, that's not a merchant. That's druid, and I'm KOS. That means I'm probably KOS in North Karana too. If you give me a moment, I can meet you at the bridge to NK. Perfect. I'm right near there. Okay, well, while I wait, let me get to the first question. So I got some good comments that weren't questions. I'm going to skip those. They were useful, but I want to focus on specific questions. So, so here's one thing that someone brought up that I want to address. Someone named, what is this guy's name? Jason Coral. I don't know how to say that. He basically said he'd be interested in watching some videos that aren't EverQuest, but not others. I just want to clarify. When I said making videos of other games, I didn't mean instead of. Like, I'm not pivoting my channel from EverQuest content to, whatever. I mean in addition to. Just so we're clear. Okay. Let me let them know. Okay, I let them know that I'm KOS to these humans, so I'm keeping a little bit of distance. But I'm here. So yeah, just wanted to bring that up. And let's see what the next question was. Someone gave me some recording suggestions. I appreciate those. Some of them affect the way that I play. Like, oh, there he is. Like, instead of turning left, going like that. Like, so you don't hear the keyboard. I got this whole thing about... I got my new computer in the mail. It is amazing. About 3 days into using it, the left speaker just completely died. I was just getting everything set up for P99 too. And after the speaker died, I called Lenovo, I called them and used their chat and all that, and they were basically like, instead of repairing the speakers, let's just replace the whole laptop. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I had all these special modifications to it. It could take a while. They were like, yeah, just trust us. You want a replacement, not a brand, or not a repair. So whatever. Now I'm back to the old one. It's I can't wait to get the new one up and running though. Okay, let's see. Stonewall X39. Oh, by the way, that was Gleep Glop 2 that suggested the setup thing. Stonewall X39. EQ for me was so scary when I first started. Can you share a time when you felt the very real feeling of fear playing back in the day? I'd also like to hear about newbie things you did or believed when first playing EQ. For instance, I started a rogue, but only used swords because I thought they looked cooler. Well, you're missing out on all those backstabs, buddy. So, first part of that question, share a time you feel the... Okay, so the very first time that I had an oh shit moment in EverQuest was... Oh, hey there, Wolfen. Give him a little AC buff because I don't think he gets those. And of course, you want to give a bow. Okay, so my first character that I got to like level 5 was a Barbarian Shaman. And I think I mentioned this in an earlier video. I picked the Barbarian Shaman. I was okay with the Shaman class. It was a suggestion of a friend of mine. I had no interest in the Barbarian, but my friend recommended it. He's like, no, you don't want to deal with the faction hit of a Troll or an Ogre or an Ixar. Just trust me, pick the Barbarian. I was like, oh, all right. I thought it looked really boring reading about the race before I got the game. When I got the game, I absolutely fell in love with Hallis. I am a snow person. Unfortunately, I don't live in a part of the world / country. I live in the US where we get a lot of snow, but I love snow. Whether it's in real life, in video games, I'm just like, you know how every game has those snow levels? Those are my favorite levels. Oh, hello. What's this? This, speaking of good faction, wait, is it that guy? I wonder if I could single pull him. Do I have smite up? Yes, I do. A little detour there. Uh-oh. He's a caster? Fuck that. Never mind. I am not going to mess with that. Glad I saw that. I'm really glad I saw that because he's probably nuked me down. So I fell in love with Hallis. Absolutely fell in love with it. I'll give you both answers to your questions will come from this character because it was my first real character that I played past like level 2. I ran at the advice of another barbarian who I had been, you're puttering around outside Everfrost. You tend to see some people. I saw this barbarian warrior who had the weirdest name. His name is Licensed Driver. If that's you back in the day, if you were playing in the year 2000, a low-level barbarian warrior, and you happen to be watching this video, shout out. So he was like, let's go to Quanos. And I was like, can I go there? Like, are we going to be KOS? I had no idea how it all worked. He was like, yeah, we'll be fine. And he showed me how to get through Blackburrow. We went through Quanos Hills. I was like, dude, this is scary. Like, the only 2 zones I've seen in this game are a Dwarf Paladin that I started on another... By the way, this is to the Gorgia King's Orb. This is just the, I believe it's the eastern part of East Corona. Oh, what? Come on. Northwest. Okay, never mind. Oh, one thing I want to... Quick interjection here. I know I get distracted a lot. That camp was good for my swimming skill. I want to say I was like 43 swimming when I got to it. Now I'm 61, so that's been great. It's just because I was by the water. I had to chase stuff into the water, etc. So anyway, back to my story. This guy... Ooh, is this the zone line? Look at how the... Yes, it is. So this guy brought me to Quanos. I was super scared. I didn't get a bind or anything because we didn't even know what binding was. He logged off. I'm walking around. I somehow end up in the sewers. And I'm like, okay, well, I see some stuff that's blue. I'll kill it. I did that for a little bit, but I was scared. I didn't know how to get out of the sewers because I got lost. I died in the sewers from who knows what. And I was like, I'm screwed. I'm never going to get my corpse back. Like, it's way too far away. I don't even know how to get back to... Oh my God, that's even. That's frightening. I don't even know how to get back to Quanos. I'm just... What do I do? Should I just delete my character? And, like, I talked to my friend, and he was like, oh, that's a pain. Like, I think you should be able to figure out how to get back, and blah, blah, blah. It was weird. It was really weird. Let's see if there's any faction here. Let me give them a buff. But it was that oh shit moment that you're talking about there. Stonewall X39. I just felt like, oh my god, everything I've worked for to get to level 5 has just been lost. Now, another thing that happened to that character was I started playing when you consented someone else, they could loot your corpse instead of just dragging it. They could still drag it, but they could also loot it. And I remember I consented that license driver guy because the first time we tried to go to Quanos, I died outside of Blackborough. So instead of just like coming back to get me, he was like, let me drag your corpse somewhere safe. And he looted stuff off my corpse because I couldn't find my way to Blackborough and brought it back to me. And so from then on, I was scared to give anyone consent to my corpse because I was like, okay, I trusted license driver. Probably shouldn't have. I don't trust random Joe when I'm like level 30 in Runny Eye or whatever. And I was just like paranoid about giving people consent, even though like 2 weeks later, they literally like 2 weeks after that event, not long after I started, they took away the ability to loot other people's corpses and they give you consent, with the exception of the PvP servers. I know there's some sort of thing on there. Okay, no faction. Now, this zone is really bizarre. I would like to put up a map at this point to show you how weird this zone is. It's just such a weird layout. The other thing is, you walk in and it says, you have entered Gorge of King's Orb. Who all Janes? Where am I? Does it say Gorge? No, it says Beholder. What's up with that? Some other people have talked about some theories about that. All I need to know right now... Oh, damn it. You know what I need to do? I need to put up Calm. Or Pacify, or whatever. I know that I need to run from... Just hug the right hand to get to Runny Eye. I looked up the map to both zones earlier, and to get to Runny Eye, I hugged the right-hand side of the wall in Gorge of King's Orb. To get to Misty Thicket, I hugged the left-hand wall in Runny Eye. Now, there's a lot of stuff in this zone that's around my level, but some of them are casters, and it's just, none of them are undead. I just don't feel comfortable trying to solo here. I like this zone a lot. Is that a goblin? I didn't know there were goblins here. Actually, I do remember that, like right near Runny Eye. I think this zone is great. I think it's underrated, but I'm just running through right now. Now, when I get to Runny Eye, if I try to hug that left wall, it looks like it's a short run. Puffin stuff. It looks like it's a short run, but if I get attacked by multiple mobs, I'm probably just going to hit Divine Aura and run like hell. Run like hell, like the Pink Floyd song. The other thing that I associate... Are you kidding me? God damn it. I know what happened. I just got blinded by a mudman. So those stupid... Damn it. I don't hear myself getting hit. They have a proc. Those little, like, brown things walking around. The golem-looking things. They have a proc that blinds you. Let me just get out of here. Oh, jeez. Okay. So yeah, it says you have mud in your eyes. Wow. Look at that. This zone is so weird. I like this zone a lot. Is there anyone even here? Yeah, there are. Hey, look at that. Little group of mid-20s. I like it. Evil Eyes in this zone and the Gorge of King's Orb. Okay. And there's an eye right there, and it's a Runny Eye. So, hug the left wall. Hug the left wall. Hug the left wall. Oh my god! It's a dark elf. Okay, that one's... Just in case, I'm going to do this. That one's green. Hug the left wall. Oh, green. Won't attack me. Good. Maybe I won't need Divine Aura. I think I just saw another person's name. Oh, thank God. I think this is the zone line. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Take me to a safe space. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed both those noob moments that I shared with you. Level 19, these things shouldn't mess with me. Of course, as I say that, it messes with me. I'm just going to bring these to the guards because the reality is, if I'm KOS to the guards, I'm getting out of here anyway. I don't need 3. This is Misty Thicket. I might give a more thorough tour if I get to the point where I know I'm not KOS to the guards. Of course. Well, it's better than soap baiting. Man, getting blinded there really scared me. Don't like getting blinded. That is one of the 2 things in this game that I always hated. Getting blinded and getting dispelled. I always felt like they were both such BS moves. Okay, I think I'm going the right way. Is that a corpse? Nope. That is not even a... I thought that was a bear corpse. It is a cut down tree. Kind of like that. Where else in this game, burning wood, I guess, can you find cut down trees? Okay. If I'm KOS to the halflings, we are going to have to pivot to another strategy as far as where I go. And to put a cap on that story, I think I did eventually get my corpse as that barbarian shaman, but I gave up on that character not long after. Hey, apprehensive, perfect. Okay, here's my fear with. Oh, okay. I thought that might be a druid. Hey, guard, help me out here. Oh, Ella Food Crafter. She's not KOS either, right? I guess she probably would have aggroed me already if she was. Okay, good. Here's my fear with Rivervale. The 2 guilds that I'm worried about being KOS to as a Bertoxulian are the cleric and the druid. Now, I was thinking about this earlier. In any other town, I would say the cleric guild is the one that I'm most worried about. But then I realized a weird little lore tidbit about the halflings in general. The clerics worship Bristlebane. I know this because I remember being at the character select screen once, just kind of putzing around with different options. And the halfling clerics, I think, can only... Maybe they can be Karana as well. But I seem to remember they could only be Bristlebane, which is so weird because Bristlebane is the god of not taking anything seriously and jokes and things like that. This is a good newbie zone, by the way. I always really like this newbie zone. Not that I ever really enjoyed playing a halfling. I think they look weird. So anyway, throughout this game, every city you go to, Methaniel Mar, Arolisi Mar, Tunair, the Dark Elves with the Nuruk, they're all clerics are supposed to be the most devout class to their gods. And then you've got the halflings that are super devout to a god that doesn't take anything seriously. It was just a little weird to me. Maybe they're not going to care so much. Now, the Druid Guild, I'm legitimately scared because they worship Karana. And so far, it's the residents of Karana that have had the most problem with me. I do not care for this music as much. It's fun and quirky. It's hard to take seriously. But, yeah. I'm worried about the Druid Guild. Hey, speaking of Druid.
Could you spare a sow?
It's always good to get a refreshed sow because your sow has a lifespan depending on the level of the caster and just in general. I don't think sow can ever last more than 34 minutes. But it's also faster if you get it from a higher level person. And this person looks pretty high level. I don't know for sure how high level. 50. And it looks like she's okay. Well, oh, she's giving it to me. Wait, did I get it? Oh, I did, because I remember I moved it over here. Spirit of Wolf leads you. Great. Alright, fine. I do like this music. It's just weird. It's quirky. It suits the halflings. That's the Rogue Guild there. In fact, con that guy. Apprehensive. I'm fine with that. So it's not even a question of just not being KOS to the Cleric Guild. I also want to make sure I can buy my spells. Okay, I think that the Druid Guild is around here somewhere. Nope, I went the wrong way. I think it's down here. Yep. I don't like seeing NPCs running like that. Okay, apprehensive. Indifferent. Apprehensive. 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 It's looking pretty good. Okay. Alright. Let's check the Cleric Guild, which is right over here. Amiably? That was not expected. Amiably. Good God. That is super not expected. Wow. Okay. I just don't like seeing NPCs run like that. It makes me think they've aggroed me and they're running at me. Well, hell's bells. I seem to be quite welcome here. Alright. Pipple Purplefoot. Purple Root. Got any spells? No? Oh, the other thing I want to say about that... oh, you do have some spells, but not ones I need. I could sell these to players. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say about that camp... I actually got a couple bronze weapons there to drop. Screw it, I'm just going to sell them. And I didn't carry them because, like, I got a bronze two-handed sword. It was like 13 pounds. I can't carry that. I mean, look how close I am. Well, now I'm not as close, but I still can't carry 13 pounds. It was nice to get that because I'm kind of getting to that level where they're giving me better spells. Better drops, sorry. I'm distracted. Cleric 14. Do I have Cancel Magic? Give that a little texture. But not that texture. That one. Wait, do I have Cancel Magic? If I don't, I should. Endure Cold, no. Yes, I do. Okay. Good to know. Okay, let me get my spells here. And then I'll talk about the good thing about getting these bronze weapons. So, I gotta admit, the spells for level 19 are not that great. They're okay. I don't get any new heals. And I don't get any new undead nukes. Oh, I didn't realize this went back so deep. Appears. Okay, those are high level. Too high for me. Oh, here's another one. Calm, I think this is it, yeah. Okay, Calm is a level 19 spell. Indifferent, yeah, that's good. Okay, Bravery is 24. It's so funny that they give you a hit point buff 2 levels in a row. 2 spell levels in a row. This is my level, right? 19, yep. Need that. Calm. Need that. Meh, that one's not as great. Oh, I can't wait for that. Yep, definitely want that. Nope. Yeah, this one's alright. It's just kind of like, it sounds good on paper, but it's like a question of when do you actually use it, because definitely want that. When am I going to use a nuke plus stun that does less damage than my normal nuke and doesn't stun as long as my normal stun and generates a ton of aggro? Like, again, it sounds good, but when am I really going to use it? Word Summoned, I mean, that's fine, but realistically, I'm probably never going to use that. Word of Shadow, I love. Oh, and Yelp 2. I never use Yelp 1, and I can't even afford it. Damn it. Well, you know what? If there's one spell I'm not going to get, I'm okay with it being Yelp 2 because I don't really use Yelp. Even though I melee a lot, I probably should use Yelp. I just feel like really not until level 20 or 30 does that stuff actually help out. Okay, why don't I just move this bag because it's kind of in the way. Well, first of all, Calm replaces Soothe. And Endure Magic is great. That's one of those underrated spells. It will really help you out in certain situations. Spirit Armor is a new AC buff. Daring is a new hit point and AC. A little bit of AC, I think. I think Daring is also the spell that's on that Paladin helmet from Kunark that every Paladin wants because it's basically just a free heal if you click it over and over. And none of this other stuff am I really gonna... Yeah, I mean... This I like because it's an AoE, but again, when do I really use AoE? When am I fighting... When am I able to take hits from multiple mobs that are blue? Otherwise, why am I fighting them? Really, that gets to the root of the use of that spell. It's good for point-blank AoEs. Okay. So I kind of do want that Yelp. How much was it? 10 plat? Damn. I really can't afford that. No, I really can't. That is such a bummer. Oh, if I had that bronze two-handed sword, maybe I could. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see I'm not KOS seemingly anywhere in Rivervale. Let me try to hit up the bank, which I think is in. No, it can't be in there. It's in here. I think it's in this city hall. Yeah, I think it's this one actually. Yep. And I don't have. Oh, I have one plat. One more plat. Damn. Oh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well then, I guess I need to decide where to go next. I have a place in mind, but I need to do a little bit more research before I go there. And as you know, I'm pretty close to leveling. So I will get to the rest of the Q&A when I decide where to go. There's a couple more questions. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side, brothers. Alright, so the place I was going to go to, I did a little research, and I don't think I'm ready for it. And just to spoil it, I guess, it was Najna. I was going to go to Najna, looked into it, and while there is a fair amount of undead in there, it's intermingled with non-undead, and it's just not really, for level 19, a place where I'm likely to succeed. So, I came up with a plan B, which is to go... Let's see, what time is it? Because I want to go to the scary place. Oh, of course, of course. Well, whatever. Oh, this isn't where I meant to go. That's okay, I know where to go. It's right near the Cleric Guild. Cleric Guild? There it is. Okay, so I want to go back to High Pass and do a spot there that I really like. However, I wanted to point out something funny. When you're over by the Misty Thicket zone line, which is relatively safe. I mean, Misty Thicket's not that dangerous from a lore perspective, right? Goblins, I guess. That's the Misty Thicket line. You got, well, they're constantly being killed, but you got 2 guards here. You got 2 guards on the outside. Let's switch over to the Kithakor zone line. And you've got 1 guard here. And literally demons from hell are populating the Kithakor zone, threatening to come into Rivervale, I guess. I mean, not literally, but like, they're right at your front door here. And you've got 1 guard, and I guess you could argue the Cleric Guild, but there's no better example of going from the sublime to the ridiculous in this game other than North Temple Vishan to Plane of Mischief. I mean, literally, this is like one of the scariest things, and then in here you've got the most ridiculous soundtrack. And there's no guards out here. Now, you might be thinking, oh, you're going to High Pass, so you're going to, like, if you're not familiar with this game, you'd be like, oh, you're going to go back through Running Eye, Misty Thicket, Gorge of King's Orb, run up the ramp in East Karana. No, there's another way. So last time, when I was in this zone, Kithakor, it was also nighttime, I was over there, which was the West Common zone. Now, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to hug the right wall. And you know what? I'm going to play it safe-ish. And where are you? Sense. Oh, I didn't even know I had Sense summoned. It's kind of a weird spell for a cleric to have. So, if you hug the right wall, you'll end up in High Pass, just like if you hug the left wall from West Commons. Like most zones in this game, it's basically a giant square. While I'm running there, because there's not a ton to see, and I'm going to be hugging the wall for the most part, let me get to... Oh, I don't know why. I just saw that red pop up, and I thought I was getting attacked. I just, like, my nerves are on high when I run through this zone. Can you blame me? Like I said, there's demons from hell. So, just making sure I'm recording. Okay. So I had 2 more questions. One was actually the guy who asked the question earlier about... He made a comment about, like, he would still watch if I made videos for other games. He also asked a question that I assume is being somewhat facetious about how many drugs someone needs to take to play a ranger in this game. Let me just say, I think rangers are understandably kind of shat on Hey, look, we're here already. That was easy. By the way, part of why I'm going here is because I have this Knoll, that scalp that I want to turn in. So my friend that I mentioned earlier that got me into this game played a ranger, and I understand all the trials and tribulations rangers had to go through back in the day. Really, it wasn't until Luckland/Plains of Power when they got improved with the bow stuff, it made them somewhat viable. But you know, when I was making this walkthrough, and I kind of did a random, my first video, I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to randomly select the race class. And it wasn't super random because I think the actual race class it suggested to me was a half-elf paladin, which I did not want to play. But, if it's a ranger, I was thinking to myself, would I actually play a ranger? And I think I would have. I understand it would have been a tough road, but I think I would have done it. It does suck that this server will never get to Luckland/Plains of Power, which is when rangers really start to shine. But there's almost like a beauty in the struggle. And I don't mean beauty, it's like a romanticized... This game is hard enough. No matter what class you play, this game is going to be difficult. But there was something kind of fun. You know what? I want to do this. I want to kill these guys. I hate that I'm not getting the hover over thing right now. Okay, I have Smite up. Let me start by doing this. Ah, damn it. I probably can't take all three of these guys, can I? Because I think two of them are going to be blue. Do not turn your back to them because they're all rogues. Let's see. Can I nuke one down real quick? Of course, the guard's not going to do anything. Just walk right by. Freaking corrupt. Okay, no, I cannot do this. I just said don't turn around, and there I go turning around. Fortunately, he didn't backstab me. Okay. So, Rangers, it's a tough road, but I think I would have done it. The biggest downside, really, is that they level so much slower, at least until a couple months into Velius, and that would have been a pain in the ass. By the way, I forgot to say, I know I've never been in this zone. I love exping at the Goblin area in this zone, so I'm going to save it for when I'm like high 20s, early 30s for that. Let me just do this. Daring and Spirit Armor. Okay, good. Let's compare. Let's compare to my current stats. So 429 hit points. That and the AC are going to go up from Daring. 459. Wow, that's 30. Oh, I didn't even look at what my AC was. But I saw it go up. I saw it move. And now it's going to go up a lot more. 382 up to... Nice. 388. It's only 6, but AC's harder to come by. And... the spells also are going to last longer than the spells that I used to have. So that's a benefit. Every spell level, when you get those new hit point and AC buffs, they always last longer in addition to giving you more stuff. So Rangers totally get the difficulty. I don't know. I think to me, the other struggle that I would have had is they don't have a defined role in a group. Like I said, the Plains of Power and Luckland helped Rangers. I think it's because it defined them as a DPS class. They're in the category of rogues and to some extent monks and wizards and magicians in a group setting and in a raid setting. In this server, they're kind of this weird like pseudo tank. Like you don't tank as well as a paladin or shadow knight. Definitely don't tank as well as a warrior. But you also don't DPS as well as a monk, rogue, whatever. And you're kind of this weird, almost like a bard, but way less useful for the group. Like, bards can kind of tank, but should they be tanking? Probably not, but sometimes in a pinch, it'll work. So yeah, I think I would have struggled with that. Okay, so I want to do the gnolls. The gnolls are a little bit lower level than the... Oh, same level as me. High pass citizen. Love it. One of the reasons I wanted to kill those rogues, by the way, was that they give faction. I think they give faction with high pass, which is one of the reasons why I think it's so weird that the guards wouldn't kill them. I always get lost in this part. Mutt. Her name is really Mutt? That's weird. Am I going the right way? I don't know. This part of High Pass always confuses me. Oh, well, now I know I'm facing the right way. Are they fighting an NPC? Yes, they are. Is she going to win? She is probably going to win because she's red. And they are blue and blue. Okay. Yeah, she's probably fine. I'm going to med up a bit. So the problem with these is that the NPC that you turn them into is almost always dead. The good news is they're easier. Well, you know what? There's not really any good. Well, I mean, the good news is you get experience from them. What? What the hell? Oh, this is kind of dangerous because it's a caster and I didn't think I was at risk and he slowed me. Oh my gosh. I do not like this. Yeah, I need to run. I can't handle this. I wasn't ready for this. He came from this way? Oh shoot, that is the way. Which way to safety? Not that way. Unless I want to zone out. I'd rather go back to the guards. Although maybe I should just take the easy... You know what? I will do that. I will do that. I'm going to take the guaranteed... Because I'm coming back this way anyway. Let me just hit Divine Aura. Divine Aura is a cleric's best friend. Yeah, you can hit me all you want, buddy. Go for it. You're not going to do any damage. At least for like 10 seconds. Oh, jeez. Okay. That was not a pleasant experience. Still nighttime? Yeah, 3 a.m. Dang, it's actually a little light up there for 3 a.m. I guess it's the moon. It's Lucklin! Everyone's favorite expansion. Speaking of which, I got a question about that. I will answer it. Let me get set up here. Okay, I'm back, and I'm almost at full mana. And I was looking at my equipment while I was sitting here medding, and I realized outside of a couple items like that one and that one, maybe that one? No, that's not very good. Outside of, oh, come on, I can't even see the damn thing. My gear really kind of sucks. I would love to upgrade it, but hell, I can't even afford Yelp 2. How am I going to buy new gear? Okay, so Divine Aura is still down. Literally the only thing I don't like about using Divine Aura is that, well, okay, you can't cast spells, but that's not really an issue. It takes so long to pop back up. Thankfully, clerics get a second version of Divine Aura called Divine Barrier, about level 29, I think. And that actually lasts longer. Like, let's just say Divine Aura is 10 seconds. Divine Barrier is like 20 seconds. It takes longer to... Oh, come on. Really? A green? Is this thing solo? All right. Well, like I said, this side is lower level than the orc side. And the orc scalps give more XP, I think. But the Gnoll scalps are fine. And they give... well, we'll see. I don't know what faction they give. It might be faction with Quanos, which would be helpful. Do I want combat music on? Meh. I'll keep it on for a little bit. Let me know if you hate that music, because obviously you might hear it a lot. So, I can't wait for Divine Barrier. It's got a little bit longer of a cast time, but it lasts longer. Every second counts. Every millisecond counts when you're casting Divine Aura / Divine Barrier, because you're usually in a pretty dicey situation. All right, let's see what faction I got here. Is it the same? It's not the same as the Gnolls in East Karana. I'm getting Mucktail Gnolls. That's probably exclusive to High Pass. Karana Residents, that's the same. Karana Bandits? What the hell? That's not something I expected. And High Pass Guards. Now that's good, because I may not actually be able to turn in these scalps yet. So we'll see. Like I said, the NPC that you need to turn them into is dead half the time because the Gnolls kill him. And I want to say he's even lower level than the guy out by the orcs. Okay, so this is kind of weird. Oh, here we go. We got a brawler. Well, let's brawl. This guy should be no problem. He's probably barely blue. In fact, I'm going to bring him over here just in case he tries to run, which he probably will. I'm so confident in my victory that I am already anticipating his defeat. So, the other question that someone asked was... My question is, predictably, what's your favorite expansion and what's your favorite class to play, both to level and to raid? And that was asked by... I can't do that right now. Okay. Favorite expansion... I can't not say Velius. It has to be Velius. I already mentioned that I'm a snow guy. Oh, no, you do not. Dude, you were running way too fast. I already mentioned I'm a big snow guy. I also just think that that expansion pulled off an impossible feat. They didn't introduce any new levels. They didn't introduce any alternate advancement type stuff. They literally just introduced zones and quests and items, obviously. And that alone was enough to get people really excited. And they introduced a whole bunch of lore. What the hell? Oh my god. This is like a bit chaotic. Another one of these things just spawned. I just think Velius, they did everything perfectly. Like, I can't think of anything I would change about that expansion. Okay, let's see if I can do this here. I mean, I have enough for... Oh, what did he just cast? I think something that didn't even stick. Spirit armor skin, like steel? Ugh, dude. Don't you know my policy? Don't accept buffs from other people unless I'm grouped with them. Or if it's a so. Or like, I don't know, if I'm running from place to place and someone wants to give me clarity. Yeah, I gotta say Velius is my favorite expansion. Now, I will say this. Let me give you most underrated expansion and most overrated. I know I'm going to get a lot of disagreement on this. Most underrated expansion, I think, is Lucklin. I think Lucklin gets mostly fairly shit on, but somewhat unfairly. I think a lot of the criticism is justified, and this is a much longer topic. Let me just say it without too much explanation. I think Lucklin is the most underrated. I think Plains of Power is the most overrated. I like Plains of Power. Specific zones. I like specific zones in Plains of Power. Do I like it overall? Yes, I do. But there was a lot about it that I did not like. And I don't have enough mana for that. And honestly, I think I'm going to need the mana for Root. Yeah, he's just going to walk. Okay, I should be fine. The only problem is sometimes these things will walk past the line, and then I can't chase them. Ugh, okay, let me click this off. Large rawhide. Yeah, I think I got enough weight since I offloaded all my stuff. Dumped it into spell money. Okay, I know a lot of people think that Plains of Power was the best expansion. I certainly don't. Oh, by the way, I'm getting real close to my level. Let's just do this. 468/390. We should see some good numbers here because those new spells are going to help a lot. It's so funny that I think I get both new spells again, AC and hit point /AC at level 24. Hey, weird way to space it out, but that's the way they did it. So, Plains of Power, there's a lot. This is a larger topic as well. Maybe I'll just do the same thing. I could do a whole video on most underrated, overrated, where I talk about how I think Lucklin is underrated, and I think Plains of Power is overrated. Let me just emphasize, I do think Lucklin was a bad expansion overall, certainly in the way it was introduced. I also think that Plains of Power was a good expansion overall. Now, you know what? I'm going to change that a little bit. I think Lucklin was a neutral expansion overall. I don't think it was bad. I think it started out bad. It was introduced bad. But overall, I think it was a okay expansion. Bordering on good. I mean, it introduced AAs. Like I said, there's so much I could talk about. Let me answer the second part of this guy's question, which was, what's your favorite class to play both to level and to raid? Okay, that's a good question. That's a good distinction because there is a huge distinction between some classes like rogues are a ton of fun to raid and level. Monks probably the same thing. You know, the classes that people typically think are fun. Some classes are fun to level and not as fun to raid. So let me say the most fun class that I have ever played in this game to group, or to level, I like the way he put it, to level, because that could be grouping or soloing, was an enchanter. I absolutely loved playing an enchanter. Now, I played it on P99 Blue. I got to level 56. I took a break. This was pre-Velius, so Kunark was out. Velius was not out yet. I took a break, like a 6-month break. I came back to the game, and my account had gotten hacked. And this was before they introduced the phone number thing, so there was no way for me to get my account back. I'm still really pissed about that. This was like 6 years ago, so I'm not too freaked out about it anymore. I just didn't like it at the time. Like, I lost my level 56 Enchanter. I was a year at Enchanter. It was awesome. Maybe not. I would have done Dark Elf if I could go back. Anyway, it was the most fun. Grouping can be chaotic, but in a fun way. Now, as a cleric, there's so many classes. Cleric is one of them. You have a very mundane role in a group. Literally, I just look at the group health bar, and I heal anyone that's low on health. Normally, it's the tank. Occasionally, it's someone else, including myself. I don't mind that. But after half an hour in a steady XP group, it can get a bit dull. As an enchanter, Yeah, it could be dull if you're just pulling singles over and over. I mean, you're still tashing and slowing, most likely, assuming there's no shaman in the group. But as in most cases, there will be ads, and then you have a job to do. And what if there's 3 ads? What if there's 1 mob and 3 ads? Now, if you get 4 mobs pulled to your group and you don't have an enchanter or a bard for crowd control, you're pretty much screwed. I mean, if you have a really good cleric or druid or whatever, they might be able to root them, kite them, things like that. But for the most part, you're kind of screwed. If you have an enchanter and a good enchanter, and I like to think I was a good enchanter, you have a fighting chance. And it's just so much fun to play that role in a group. I really enjoyed it. However, raiding as an enchanter, now I never did a raid as an enchanter. I really don't like these greenies. I never did a raid as an enchanter because I only got to level 56 and I wasn't even... Oh, I was in a guild, but it wasn't a raiding guild. It ended up getting absorbed by a larger raiding guild later on. But that's another subject. Point is, I know enough about raiding in this game to know that in a raid situation, enchanters are very boring. Maybe if you're doing something like, Plane of Hate, Plane of Fear, maybe Halls of Testing, although I can't remember if this is the case there, where you get ads and an enchanter can actually do something useful. In fact, let's just say the Plains and Kunark had zones where, even in a raid, ads could be mezzable. But for and charm is useful on some raids, assuming there's no dispel. But look, if you're doing like North Temple of Ishan, anything Luckland, anything Plains of Power, I'm talking raid content, all you're doing as an enchanter is tashing and hasting and casting clarity. That is all you're doing, and that is so boring. You're never going to nuke. Your nukes aren't going to land because they're all magic based, and they attract a ton of aggro because they have a sun component to them. This is rainwater. I never know what that's for. Maybe I should collect it because it's only 0.1 pounds. I'll put that here. You're never going to nuke as an enchanter. You would attract way too much aggro and it's probably going to get resisted. You're not going to cast your DOTs. You're just going to cast Tash. You're going to haste as many people as you can. And you're going to cast Clarity on anyone who needs it. And that is really boring. If I'm missing something, let me know. But that is all I remember seeing enchanters do in raid situations. So to answer the question of... what's the most fun class to play in a raid scenario? So I did play a rogue to 60 once. In fact, it was on a progression server, so I went up to 65. That was a lot of fun. I've never done a cleric in a raid situation. I've done shaman. It was pretty dull. Mostly just buffing and mallow and occasionally slow. I remember I was able to land Turgor's Insects, which is the highest level shaman slow, on Emperor Sragia in a raid back on live. That was like pretty cool. But for the most part, ooh, that's the guy I gotta turn the scouts into. The problem is getting up there. Now here's my fear. I'm gonna pull something back here and then another one will have spawned and suddenly I have 2. Come here, do this quick. Thankfully I still have so speaking of I gotta think about the raid thing. I will say there's some classes I've never played. From what I can tell, a Necro is pretty boring in a raid. You're basically just feeding mana. Mages are probably the all-timer most boring class to play in a raid because you're literally just summoning mod rods. That sounds awful. This thing is kicking my ass. I wonder how blue it is. Like, what if it's level 18? Oh, should be good XP then. I never played a monk in a raid situation, never played a bard. I'm naming the classes because there's fewer that I haven't played. Like druids are pretty boring because you can't really get much to land. I can tell you wizard in a raid is pretty damn boring. It's not the most boring, but like all you can land are lure spells. Oh my god, this thing is like sprinting away from me. No. Stop it. Great, I hit it for 1. And I hit it for 1 again. And he's hitting me way harder than I'm hitting him. I mean, a rogue is a really good answer because the other great thing about a rogue is you end the raid knowing that you probably did the most DPS. You maybe only got outdamaged by another rogue, which is an amazing feeling. I mean, you know that you really contributed to a raid. I've never played a warrior either. That could be fun, although that seems like a lot of stress to be the main tank on a raid. Can I land a damn hit? This thing is going to kill me. This is like way more stressful than I want, and I can't get the thing to... I have 150 hit points left. Why am I? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, this is way too close for comfort. Oh, thank God root wore off. Come on, it's at 0. Freaking hit him. Hit him! This is how you die so much. You try to kill something and another mob attacks you and you're like, maybe I can kill it before I get killed by this other mob, and then you don't, and then you die. Sometimes I even, in this camp, I've zoned out to med because it's just so much safer on the other side. I'm going to say Rogue's the most fun class to play on a raid. I say that as someone who hasn't played a number of classes on a raid. Maybe main tank is the only thing I can think of. And some of this is personality based. I mean, if you like the role of a cleric in a raid, I'm dreading it. I mean, if I ever get to the point with this character where I raid, I'm absolutely dreading screwing up a complete heal wheel. Because then you just like let the whole raid down. It's like, oh, we almost had Avatar of War, but Jane's was late on a heal and we all died. I mean, that's like a lot of stress. Main tank seems like a lot of stress too. So yeah, I'm going to say those two answers. Enchanter, most fun to level. Rogue, most fun to raid. And Rogue is close for leveling too. I mean, it's a bit monotonous. You're just hitting backstab over and over. Oh no, I took aggro. Let me turn off attack and hit hide. Now I'm evading. I'm back off aggro. Now let me backstab again. Like, yeah, but there is some fun. You know, I never mess around with poisons, but there is some fun in picking which proc weapons you want to use. Yeah, Rogue is more dynamic than just hitting backstab over and over, but it is mostly just hitting backstab over and over. And you're dragging corpses. That's another fun thing Rogues can do on raids and in groups. Yeah, Rogue is a great class. The only problem with Rogues, you can't solo. It's like the only class in the game that can't solo. And some people would argue you can if you get the right poisons and you do intimidate and you're essentially fear snaring. And once you get something fear snared as a rogue, you're going to destroy them with backstab. But I can't think of a rogue that I've ever known, unless you're like super savvy and honestly kind of twinked, that could get to level 60. Okay, let me come back when I'm about to ding. The next kill could ding me if it's a blue. We'll see. I also need the heal. I can't wait for a new heal, by the way. I know it's going to use a ton of mana, but I need it. Especially with these new hit point buffs. Like, what is this, regular heal? It's not getting the job done anymore. It's just regular healing. Okay, I think I've got enough. Oh, we got another brawler. I think these are the higher level ones. Hopefully it's solo. There is another one out there, so I can't let this thing run too much. Although how much control over that do I really have? I mean, I feel like I don't even have enough time to root these things half the time. Maybe it would help if I pushed it this way while I fight it. If you didn't know, every time you hit a mob in this game, you push it a little bit. That includes you getting hit. You get pushed as well. Please tell me. Okay. Couldn't really tell. So a strategy for a situation like this is, especially where I probably don't have enough mana to both root and nuke again, let it get down so I can't even see because it's not doing the damn hover over thing right now. But the way to fix that is to restart, by the way. Most mobs in this game that end up running, they start running at 19%. So the trick, oh shit. The trick, oh thank God. And I didn't even ding. Oh, hello. Large rawhide tunic. That should sell pretty well. Might even be able to afford Yelp. 2. Most mobs in this game start running at 19%. So sub 20. If they run at all. Some mobs don't run. There are some exceptions to that, like raid mobs aren't going to run at 19%. Raid mobs can run. They don't all run, but some of them do, but it's not going to be at 19% most likely. In a situation like that, where you know your nuke takes down a guaranteed, I don't even know the amount. Let's just say every nuke I cast on that mob took down 15%. If you know you don't have enough mana to root, or maybe you don't have the hit points to tank it while it's rooted, but you don't want it to run, the best thing to do is to wait until it's at about maybe 21% health and then nuke it. So that'll bring it down to about 6%. And then, as you might have noticed there in previous fights here, mobs that are lower on health run slower. A mob that's like really low, like when it was 0 and it wasn't even moving, mobs freeze at 0%. Like they can still attack you, like number-wise. Like you'll still see these numbers. They don't physically, like their animation doesn't move. I think it's a bug, but they just kind of kept it in because it's kind of funny. When a mob is that low on health, they're going to run as if they're basically snared. Not quite as if they're snared, but basically. So you want to get a mob as low on health as possible if you're worried about them running, especially if you don't have so and there's other mobs nearby that you're worried about them running into because they're social. Yeah. Okay, once I'm meted up, this should be the last kill before I ding. And can't wait to compare those numbers. Okay, so I'm just about full mana, and I wanted to show a couple things. I got these new spells. I might as well use them, right? I haven't even shown off what they did, except for the Daring and Spirit Armor. So, I memmed Endure Magic. I cast it on myself. It brought my magic resist from 35 to 55, so it gave me 20. Now, keep in mind, that's probably going to go up as I level. I don't know what it caps out at. It will cap out at a certain level. I'll also get Resist Magic, which is the upgrade to it at some point, but I don't think I get that for a while. Now, I have memmed Holy Might. So, this is Holy Might. The reason I haven't been using that, even though I bought it, is because right now, when I cast a nuke, I'm doing 79 damage, and that's Smite, and it's costing me 70. That's a really bad ratio. Holy Might cost me 60 mana, and I guarantee you it's going to do less than 79 damage. Let's find out. It does have a good benefit, though. It stuns. Also, I've been seeing this Null Flamepaw cast spells. There's like an upper level to this whole thing. Those are like the highest level Nulls in this area. Come on, I need a Null. Give me a Null. Give me a blue one. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is going to do 79 if it lands. That's one of the things I don't like about magic direct damage. Same problem with the enchanter thing I mentioned. Oh, it's hitting me. Oh no! Of course one had to spawn. Damn it. I cannot take two of these things. Did I root him? I want to root him. What a waste. I rooted him so that hopefully when I come back, he'll still be there. The other one won't be. Although the other one is going to be close enough that if this thing runs at all, it's probably going to aggro. Ow. Okay. Good. He's still here. All right. So let's see how much Holy Might does. 29. Get out of here. The only good news is he's stunned for a little bit. Okay. That's so not worth it as a direct damage spell. And really, I'd honestly rather just use stun. If I want him stunned, I'll just use the stun spell. Look how long it takes to pop up too. The only use for that spell is when you're trying to stun something multiple times in a row. So you have your regular stun up, then you'll cast that, and then maybe you got a third one up as well. But that spell sucks. Now keep in mind, that 29, or what was it? Was it 29? Yeah. That'll go up as I level, just like Smite will go up. Smite has gone up quite a bit since level 14 when I first got it. I think Smite tops out at 81. Damn it, this is so... I mean, look at it. The other one is right there. I can't let this thing run at all. Is he still rooted? Yeah, he is. Shoot. This is going to suck. I cannot let this thing run. What a way to try to freaking level here. Let me heal myself, because I'd rather... Oh, thank God it landed. I'm going to have enough mana for one nuke, and this is going to be tight. This music is apt for the situation. Hey, at least I went several rounds where he didn't hit me. And I've hit him 4 rounds in a row. Okay. Now is the time to nuke. And of course my buff is fading. Is he rooted? Wonder why he's just standing here. I don't know, but I'll take it. Part of me wants to root him. Because you just never know. Spiritual armor fades. I realized that when I wrote down these numbers... Oh, I changed my chat font size, by the way, just in case it was hard for anyone to read this stuff. It might be a little bit easier now. Come on. Ding me. Yes, thank God. Oh, that was stressful. This camp is stressful. And I'm not even in... Well, maybe I am in the most opportune... I mean, this is the safest spot because I'm right by a zone line. Whew. Okay. I realized that when I pulled those numbers, I might have been using... these numbers, I might have been using the stupid skin-like deal that someone gave me. Okay. So we'll see. I don't remember what the base was either, so that 468 number isn't helpful here. Let's just see what we got. Let's do... Are you kidding me? You fizzled? 479? Wow. Oh, because my health went up from... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then how much mana do I need to cast this? 75, okay. It's kind of a lot. So, 390, so my AC is 388 without Spirit Armor. So let's just say Spirit Armor goes up by... What did it go by last time? 5 or 6? Let's say it goes up to 6 or 7 now. It'll be a nice little boost. I'll take it. What a weird level, huh? Most of it was really... Well, the whole thing was just in 2 zones, because I don't think I killed anything in running a hard gorge. Oh, so the question is, do I give myself a last name? I don't really like the addiction suggestion that I've gotten from so many people. If you don't know, there's a band called Jane's Addiction. I don't really like that band. I mean, they're okay. They had a couple hits. Why did it stop meditating? Oh, well, let me just cast this Spirit Armor on myself. $401. Wow, that's pretty good. It went up by 3. Wait. No, it went up by more than that. It went up by 11? How's that possible? Maybe there's a little 20 bonus that you get. I think I'm going to be able to do more damage now with my hits because there's like a damage cap that comes off at level 20. Although this thing is only, what, 7 damage? So I don't even know if I was... So theoretically, when the damage cap is on, you can only do double, like basically up until level 20, you can only do double what the weapon's damage is. After that, it comes off and your strength has more of an input on how much your damage is and your attack, really. I mean, if I had Yelp, it would help. I love how Meditate's almost maxed. Alright, what a interesting level, I hope. I got to show you the run from East Corona to Rivervale. I found out that I'm not KOS in Rivervale, even though I am to some of the Corona residents. And I hope to improve that. Next level, where do I want to go? Well, I definitely want to show at least turning in these Null Scalps, which, by the way, I've killed a few of these things, and this is the only one I have, so maybe it's not very common. I wonder if I could turn in one at a time. I don't know. I'll find out. We'll see what happens next time. Thanks for watching.